Today we judge books by their covers and not the content of their character.
Let's talk about that. Good mythical morning.
They say you can't judge a book by its cover, or can you? So, it's time to play They Say You Can't Judge a Book by Its Cover, or Can You? The game.
The rules are simple. We're going to show each other covers of books. And then we're going to guess what might be the book about, what the book might be about.
Exactly right, yeah.
And then we're gonna sort of say how right we were and then give you the real answer.
There's no points awarded, but it will
pride.
We'll experience the sweet
pride.
satisfaction of knowing what a book is just based on the cover.
There will be a winner, just no points.
Yeah. All right, who's going, you want to give me one first?
I'm going to present to you first.
Okay.
Here is your book cover. This is Fratricide is a Gas by Lindsay Gutteridge.
Giant mantis. Say your prayers, human. I think this is basically Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, except instead of kids, it's the naked man with sandals. What does fratricide mean?
Well,
That's like killing your...
Knowing that would be important.
Sibling, it's like killing a sibling, I believe. Killing your sibling with gas.
Notice it is the third volume in a superb trilogy.
Yeah, trilogy. Yes, I did notice that. I knew that already. It didn't have to be on there.
I just want you to notice it, especially the trilogy part.
Okay, I think this naked sandaled dude's mom adopted a little mantis that grew up to be a giant mantis and then decided to kill his older brother. That's it. That's my final answer.
So you're assuming that the mantis is giant and that the man is normal size.
Oh yeah, well, I scale all things to human.
You'd be wrong. Because it's actually the story of Matthew Dilk, British intelligence agent.
It doesn't look like a British intelligence agent.
At a quarter of an inch tall.
Ooh,
he
shrunken
is sent
agent.
to South America to track down the source of deadly poison gas, but must first survive a jungle filled with ferocious praying manti.
What about his brother or sister? Does a sibling kill him?
I just think that somebody is using gas to kill someone, and that's where the fratricide is coming into play. I haven't read the book. I've only looked at the cover and read the back.
Oh, you got to read the back.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do I get any pride points here?
I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you a D.
I knew that was a mantis.
I'm going to give you a D because you did know that you did properly identify the insect. D plus.
Oh, thank you. That was a gas.
Please,
Shall I give you one?
Please present me a book.
This is The Duck Shack Agreement by Muriel Jensen, a Harlequin American romance novel.
Goodness gracious.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, they look happy together.
Yeah.
Does her shirt say Ballooney Tunes? What in the world?
It does.
What does that even mean?
You tell me, brother. I think it's pretty obvious what it means.
Okay.
But I've read the back.
Wow, okay, so it's a romance novel. Can I see that? It says a Harlequin American romance at the top. And
it's a lovely illustration of a couple, isn't it?
And I'm assuming that those children in the front are not their children, but them as children. And this is following a long-term relationship. These people were friendly as children, and then they made an agreement.
Now hold on, those could be shrunken children.
I doubt that they are, given the little glow around them. And they're in the same pose.
The glow is what could shrink them.
I think that is the same couple, and they had an agreement. They had an agreement as kids, and they said, if we're not shacking up by the time we're adults, that's where the shack comes in, the man says, I'm turning to ducks.
For what?
I mean, you know.
I'm turning to ducks?
Companionship.
Okay.
If we're not shacking up by the time we're adults, I'm turning to ducks.
I'll bet my leather jacket on.
I'm also a balloon expert. Let's throw that in there.
He or she? Who's the balloon expert?
He's the balloon expert. Look at that mustache, and she's just supporting him with that sweatshirt.
That's pretty sexist.
I mean, this is an old book. This is a sexist book. This is totally sexist. Everything about this. The Duck Shack Agreement is sexist because the dude probably came up with it.
You know what you get with this book?
What?
Free gifts from the heart.
Oh.
Rhett, you're all over the place in this one.
And right, in many different ways, right?
This is the story of Rachel Bennett, owner and operator of the booming balloon delivery service Ballooney Tunes. So you were sexist, the book was not.
Got it.
And Brian Tate.
Yep.
the leather-coated man that she loves. It's a match made in heaven. Well, Oregon. Especially after Rachel and Brian drafted the Duck Shack agreement. A simple arrangement between two consenting adults. That's a quote.
What?
So
Yeah.
they made the agreement as two consenting adults, not as kids. I don't know what the kids are doing on the cover.
I don't believe
but
that.
you read too much into it. I don't know what the lighthouse represents or anything else.
But what happens in the Duck Shack agreement? The shacking up in the ducks, right?
So yeah, you got some.
Okay, good.
I give you a B- because you were sexist.
Okay. I apologize for that. I wasn't being sexist. I was assuming they were being sexist. Sorry.
Taken.
Link, here's your next book.
Accepted.
Pudding, Poison, and Pie. A Marsden Lacey mystery by Sigrid van Zandt.
Ooh, it's making me hungry. Wait, it's dog food, isn't it?
Hold on a second.
That's dog food. That's not the first time I've had that experience.
Yeah.
Somebody wheels out some dog food, I'm like,
You're like, that smells good.
it's not for me.
Fresh.
It's poodle food. Pudding, poison, and pie. They poisoned the poodle. They poisoned Penny the poodle. And they poisoned her with that holly bush. You know, those are poisonous.
Can't eat holly bushes.
So that's what did it. But the question is, who did it? Who poisoned Penny the poodle?
Wow, okay.
And the answer is Sigrid van Sant. It's written right there on the cover. Made it too obvious if you ask me, but it's still a great read. That was it. I think that's what it is. Sigrid poisoned the poodle with the holly bush. End of story.
Okay, Link, you're right in that there was poison involved, but that was
Yes.
just in the name of the title. American best friends Martha and Helen live in a small English village and find themselves in the middle of a murder mystery when someone puts poison in the desserts at the first annual Pudding and Pie Bake-Off. It also features a Maltipoo named Amos. So he's just in the book.
So it's not dog food.
No, it's not dog food. Dog is not poison.
I would have been poisoned.
I'm going to give you a C- though because you did assume that there was murder involved. But it was pretty hard to miss that.
And it's Christmas because there's a bell back there. I should have picked up on that.
Yep.
Did Sigrid do it?
I don't believe so. She wrote it.
Correct.
Yeah.
I get a point for that?
No. C. Okay, C. You get a C.
I pronounced her name correctly.
All right, show me another book.
Our Only Hope by Janelle Samara. And as you can tell, this is probably just an ebook.
Okay, well, we've got a desert setting, obviously the American West. We've got a lady with long, straight black hair and wings, some sort of modern-day Native American princess. She has to get with this pasty white man in order to maintain the human race. And they are the only hope for the human race to continue after an apocalyptic event. Tell me how right I am about that, Link.
Can you tell me anything else about the pasty white man?
She doesn't like him, but he's the only one available. What else you want to know?
Red, this is the story of Hope, a winged woman on a mission to save her people. Ding and ding. Too bad she gets pregnant with her vampire boyfriend's baby.
Yes!
Well, you didn't say vampire boyfriend.
But he's pasty white
guy.
Pasty white!
You almost had it. And there's a pesky prophecy about a blood drinker who will turn her into a demon. Could the prophecy be referring to her pasty white boyfriend?
Yes!
I don't know. So you got some great stuff in here. Man, you're like a...
good all over it.
I mean, I think you should have gotten vampire, so I can't give you an A. That seemed obvious to me. I'll give you an A minus because you killed it on this one. Good work, man.
A minus?
You're judging books by their cover,
Okay.
breaking all the rules.
Here's one for you, Link. A Town Called Hope. The One-Legged Bride and the Injured Sheriff. Mail order brides is just thrown in there at the bottom. I don't
How many
understand what that is.
titles does this book have?
And it's about two people, Indiana Wake and Belle Pfeiffer. I don't know if mail order brides just come with every purchase of the book. I don't know how they play in. It's not part of the title.
It's not part of the title?
No.
Well, I will say this. What that bride lacks in legs, she seems to be making up for in every other way.
What she lacks in what?
Leg.
Oh.
I like your boots. Can I carry your saddle? Okay, so a sheriff, they tell me everything here. A sheriff injures himself. In fact, he loses a leg. That's a big injury. And then he falls for the only one-legged person in the town of Hope, marries her. But then what? It turns out he ordered her over the internet. All of the townspeople are upset. Why are you bringing in this woman here who's going to steal all of our men? Let's hang her and hang him by the leg. Both of them. That's how it ends.
Wow.
The author's name is Indiana Wake. Really?
No, that's his made-up name.
Yeah, if I wrote this book,
Link,
I'd
I don't
make
know
up a
why
name
you
too.
assumed that the sheriff was also one-legged. He's just injured.
Well, they can't give away everything
John
in the cover.
McFarlane is the injured sheriff. He meets lovely Francesca, who just lost her leg in a tragic accident.
Ding.
Thankfully for Sheriff John, she also just lost her husband.
Ding!
Their potential love fest is interrupted when the past comes back to haunt the town.
Ooh, yes. A ghost.
I'm going to give you a B-, because you knew that she had one leg. You knew that he was injured. Thought he also had one leg.
Yeah.
Knew that there was some sort of love connection.
And that the town was called Hope.
The town
I knew that.
people.
Yeah. And that she was a mail-order bride.
I feel like
that
was a kind of a sympathy B- at that point.
Okay. Sympathy B- is better than proud B C+.
It is. All right, show me one.
Son of the Wind, The River Rages by Clyde Abbott.
Oh, I'm a big fan of Clyde.
Great cover.
Glad to see he's still going strong. Well, obviously, a Scottish man has put his son's head on the body of a featherweight boxer. Because there's no Photoshop involved in this. This is some sort of transplant. His Son of the Wind was in an accident in the river when it was raging, lost his head, but they were able to find a featherweight boxer who was at the end of his career and was willing to give up his body. They put the boy's head on the body.
Yes.
With the help of a crafty marmoset, or whatever that thing is. Marmot. Mongoose. Crafty mongoose. So how right am I?
You're totally right. This is the story of Kit, a half-Thai, half-Scottish boxer who inherits a castle in the Scottish Highlands. Too bad his evil cousin and shady boxing promoter are in cahoots to eliminate him and his family permanently. Using his brains and his brawn, Kit is determined to protect his lover, his twin babies, and his 8-year-old adopted son with a photoshopped face. So you got that part.
Okay, right.
That's it. You didn't get the twin babies, you didn't get the lover.
But I knew about boxing.
Yep, you did. Yep. I mean, I'll give you a
And I knew about the marmot.
I'm gonna give you a C on this one, but you clearly have skills overall.
I do.
And this is a great read. I think we're both gonna dive in pretty quickly.
Yeah, this one's on the list.
All right, good work,
Clyde.
man. And good work to you, Mythical Beast. Remember, outward appearances are not a reliable indicator of true character.
They are not. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing.
You know what time it is.
Hi, my name is Becca Coleman from Royal Oak, Michigan, and it's time to spin the wheel of mythicality.
Protect your face from the sun and look cool while doing it with a mythical hat. Available at rhettling.com/store.
Represent Mythical Beast. Put it on the other side. Put it in the middle.
Put it backwards
there
and
you
grab
go.
an eye.
Lots of options. Click through to Good Mythical More, where we are going to play Street Fighter Video Game Edition.
Oh, but not before somebody wins something.
Congratulations to As these 923, you win a personalized GMM.
Avzies 923.
Never spoils movies. In fact, they never spoil historical events.
Yeah, how did World War I end? Well, you're never gonna find out because
Avzies 923.
we'll never spoil it for you. What in the world?
Oh yeah, a little rough and tumble action. Go down until my barrel roll. Welcome to my chamber. I'm the oily one.